And we back with another episode of R&R. It's Jamerson, Ballard, and I am your host. Welcome. Happy Monday. I'm gonna do my best to let the room load up, man, but I really have this habit of just getting right to it. And I hope that doesn't upset anybody, man, because by the way, this episode is brought to you in part by Kicks, the urban shoe brand that me, myself, and I have developed, spelled Q-I-K-S. Go and get you a pair. I'll leave a link in the description box. So feel free to check those out, man. I have to apologize to the Rant Gang and the Capital Letter Club because last week, to be honest, man, I got hit with some kind of mysterious bug. And I wasn't able to, push through like I normally do. But we cannot continue to stop. We got to keep going. That's the hashtag. 29, what's happening? Welcome to everybody that comes into the room, man. Listen, we got a little bit of catching up to do. But first, let me, congratulations to me. Because it's been like a little over a full year, and I ain't really, haven't even mentioned that. I think my very, very first episode was last year around August 1st. And I just been going so hard, I really hadn't even really had a chance to celebrate. I mean, when we first started this thing, man, I probably had less than 200 followers, and now we approaching 5,000 fast. Now, it's only on Instagram, so, if y'all listening to this on YouTube or any other platforms, please do me a favor. When you come into the room, go on and activate the like button. That's right. Activate that like button, man. Get me rolling around in your algorithm so I can, keep bringing you this tremendous game. Because it's necessary, man. It's almost more than necessary. On today's episode, we'll be talking about restoring the balance. That's the title of today's episode because throughout the course of the week, I'll say 2 weeks because this was actually last week's topic, but it's still very, 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 very necessary, man. And this hasn't really changed much. There are a lot of dudes who I encounter throughout my week that are talking about how, for the most part, they feel like there's like this versus going on in their household where they feel maybe like the balance needs to be restored, or the women don't necessarily respect them in the way that they think they should be respected. Like they think that they can do their job better than them or something to that effect. And I keep having the same conversation over and over. And it looks like to me, for the most part, fellas, maybe you have just gotten too comfortable in your role. I heard a guy talk about how, because over time, a lot of men, they get to the point to where they've created this life for themselves where they're just so many conveniences that they almost cherish the convenience more than their actual manhood. And that's probably going to shake some of y'all up. Maybe you might not even agree with that. But what do you think is going to happen when your woman, because for all intents and purposes, she's most likely working the exact same amount of hours you are, maybe even more. But not only is she doing that, but then she comes home after that, and then she has to maybe do the dishes, tend to the kids, help with homework, cook a meal for you. And the only thing you have on your mind is trying to relax and watch the game or play a video game. And that, I'm not against that altogether, but you got to understand, man, that although your job is to protect and provide, you both are providing. And if you're doing your job, the protection aspect doesn't happen as often as you. I mean, that's if you're doing your job well. You probably don't have to appear to protect as often as you, because you're not. We don't have to go out and hunt anymore, fish anymore, fend for your livelihood in a way where you're like farming, and we have all these different conveniences. And I'm not getting on the men. I love you guys, man. I myself also have to remember that, because I've said this before, and I'm saying it again in a different way, but comfort is the enemy of success. And although you have, because a lot of y'all, I mean, I'm going to keep it real, man. You probably got the coochie and you thought that's all that really needs to happen now. And that's just not the way it's going. You have to constantly recertify your manhood in a way. And I don't mean that you have to prove to her altogether that you are a man. My thing will be for you to constantly set goals for yourself so that you can prove to yourself that you still got this edge that you would need to have, not only to retain the respect of the woman in your life. I mean, because if you know, like I know, if the woman's respect for you starts to dwindle, then the children's respect for you is not too far behind it. Because she's the one spending the most time with the children, for the most part. And they kind of see you, if y'all do have disagreements in front of the children, especially male children, they're going to tend to feel like they maybe need to protect mommy from daddy, because daddy is, if you're not doing the manhood thing in the right way, you're raising your voice to win arguments, which doesn't win the argument. You're just saying what you're saying louder, and that doesn't mean that you win. It just, you're going into your drama, which may be, the intimidator. If you've read the Celestine Prophecies, then you know what I'm talking about, because sometimes in relationships we have these dramas, and not even in relationships, but just in life, when things are out of your control. If the energy of the relationship isn't in your favor, then you revert back to your control drama in order to get the person that you are in the relationship with to see things the way you see them, whether it's the intimidator, the oh poor me, the aloof drama, or the interrogator, which is those of you who ask a million questions in order to break a person down. And yeah, I see you out there. That's not cool either, right? But they have these dramas that they portray in order to get the relationship energy to fall in their favor. And it's just not necessarily cool. Now, you might not be aware of these things, but as a man, you might be that. And that, to see that as a child, and you don't know what what's really the specifics of the disagreement is. You just know that you need to protect your mom, and that makes the kids uncomfortable. It makes your company, if they come over, uncomfortable. And instead of you deciding for yourself that I need to work out a little more, I need to get ahead of these finances and make a plan, come up with a thing that and I can to speak on and bring to the woman of the house, and maybe we can come up with something to get these bills under control, to get this house in order, develop a plan. You're so far behind. Now your woman, and this is pretty much her job, is to tap you gently on the shoulder and remind you that other than this finance thing, there are other things in this house that need to be tended to. You really don't want to have your girlfriend or your wife telling you or reminding you to take out the trash, do you? Can you cut the grass? She got this honeydew list. I mean, then it looks like to the kids that she's the supervisor because you aren't ahead. You're behind. And I'm pretty sure it sucks for her to have to ask you constantly to either take a shower or, prepare a meal to go get something, to do something other than just the bare minimum. It's pathetic. And I get irritated with hearing these guys constantly complain about how they feel like, oh man, my girl don't respect me. The control of the relationship is definitely in your grasp, but you've lost sight of what needs to happen, and she hasn't. And I'm not necessarily getting on the woman's side per se, because it's just, I'm a man, but I understand the fact that if you're not doing what needs to be done and she can see it, how long do you expect to keep pulling the wool over this lady's eyes if you an ain't shit ass nigga? You can't do it for an extended period. You live together. She's going to see. And then the kid's going to see it. And so if you an ain't shit nigga that just do just enough every time, you're going to get on everybody else's nerves eventually. And then now when they bring it to you, now you mad and you up huffing and puffing and screaming because you want her to just respect you. Listen. I'm not saying that you don't deserve respect, sir, but you gotta do more than just the bare minimum every single day on a regular basis, man. And to do this, you have to develop goals for yourself, man. You have to stay sharp. What am I gonna do today to see what I can do to make myself a better person? Nigga, have you read a book? Have you done anything refreshing that will remind this person why she fell in love with you? Besides yelling and fucking. Because fucking, as great as it is, I mean, you're fucking the same person every day, 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7, 8, 10 years, bro. It's just not. You have to do things outside the bedroom to wow this person from time to time, bro. To wow yourself. You owe that to yourself. Yeah, you 40 years old. Okay? Nobody wants to hear the stories of your high school conquering days when you was doing all this great shit in high school over and over and over. Nigga, nobody cares no more. You got the woman, yeah, but you have to do the same thing you did to get the woman to keep the woman. And if you was I'm not saying you got to go out here and beat people up, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, that it's just like being a police officer. I mean, you're protecting by preventing things from happening, but if you're not coming up with the game plan to show her that, okay, now this and this is about to come down the pipeline. We need to be able to do this, and this. To get her to be like, damn, okay, my man owning. He on this shit. You know what I'm saying? And not necessarily watching the news and just being paranoid about things, because it's a lot of shit about to happen. I don't know if y'all heard about the October 4th thing. All right? And I could go into detail about it, but I gotta do some shit my damn self. I gotta make some decisions here in the next couple of days, because it's some shit coming down the pipeline, man. That just, it needs to be addressed. And so, I have to do some research right now. I haven't really done much research as far as that. I might bring that to you in the coming episode right before that. But yeah, go check it out. Check it out. I'm here for you in the ways that I can, man, but I can't do everything for you. You understand what I'm saying? I just can't. And we got some more people in the room. Hey, yo, watch this. What's happening, man? What's it? Sin. Oh, this is what's happening, man. Welcome to everybody that's new to this. I appreciate your viewership. I mean, and even if you don't like what's going on, I still appreciate your views. I mean, because, here we love our haters. I don't necessarily feel like I'm doing my job unless, those of you who do hate are vocal about it. And you niggas keep me sharp. Y'all keep me in the gym. Y'all keep me doing my research. Y'all keep me from... I had a young lady that I met with, shout out to her, who gave me some constructive criticism, and she said that I sound nervous. If I'm honest, sometimes I do be kind of nervous because, doing this show, I open myself up to ridicule, and I maybe stumble over words from time to time. And it's just, to be honest, marijuana used to kind of help me a lot with those, but I haven't been smoking recently, man. Shout out to, congratulations to me again, because I've grown in the respect of, I'm not in that space anymore. And I had a long conversation with a friend of mine earlier today about how, as I attain goals in my own life, I don't have to use marijuana as a coping mechanism to deal with the fact that life isn't shaking out the way that I would like for it to shake out, man. I've hit a growth spurt, if you will. And, I'm not against marijuana. But even things like maybe overeating and things like that was something that had to happen, or that was happening in order for me to cope with some of the things that was going on in my past, the struggle me. And it was just something that I don't have to do anymore because I'm not comfortable. But as I accomplish more and more of the goals that I've set out for myself, those things create this lifestyle for me that I would have loved to just be able to, to create in my head. And now it's become a part of my reality. And the more I do it, the less I have to cope with the way things the way I want things to look. They're looking more like that every single day, man. And you can have that too, man. You can have that too. But at first you have to set goals, short-term and long-term goals, and attack those. You might not necessarily having a six-pack on your list of shit to do, but you can still lose weight, sharpen up, tighten up your diet. I honestly have been pretty good with doing this diet thing. And it might be a little extreme for some of you, but I've recently been okay with not eating meat. I don't know if that exactly makes me a vegan altogether, but I recently tried to go to a place that I frequent. Right, it's an Asian place that I frequent, and it's an Americanized Asian place, if you know what I'm saying. And they're not necessarily cheap, but the meat that I ate there, or I was going to attempt to eat there, had a very strange look to it, and I just basically threw the whole meal in the trash. And it was like $10 down the drain, because it looked like lab-grown meat, man, and I'm good. Man, I'm so good. It used to be, I used to have to eat meat in order to feel like I've had a meal. But at this point, I don't necessarily feel like that. And, again, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. But what are you doing in your life, in your household, to lead in a way that pushes the ones that are under you past their, comfort zone? Those are also things that can happen. Like I said, we already listed our finances, health. Do you have an evacuation plan? There's so much stuff going on. Do you know what to do when, if someone was to come up or if someone was trying to get in your house? Do you have anything structured to put the people in your life at ease, and they can know and understand that you are in control of what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Prayer. Something as simple as prayer, fasting, can also be implemented in order to get ahead of what's maybe coming down the pipeline. And that's just not something that should be pushed to the side. You know what I mean? Are you the spiritual? Because you should be. You should be the spiritual leader in your house. That way you don't have to worry about your lady going to church and being so in awe at the amount of Bible knowledge that the pastor has, because you are studying yourself to show yourself approved in whatever you decide that you, because I'm not necessarily trying to push my belief onto you, right? But that's what I believe, right? And I hope I don't offend. I know a lot of the people that have recently followed me are of international variety. But like I said, man, I'm not trying to tell you not to eat meat. I'm just telling you I'm cool. I'm cool. And that's how I kind of run my whole thing. I'm not here telling you can't, you gotta. They just see me and it's like, I think I could try that too. And I'm preparing meals that taste delicious, and it's like, wait, there ain't no meat in this? And this is good. I could think I could do this too. We could try this together. You know what I mean? After they see that I'm not finna take no shorts, or I'm not finna back down on this, and it's not like I'm trying to force you to do what it is that I'm doing. I'm gung-ho about what I'm trying to do, and when I do introduce it to you, it's also delicious, and it's helpful. And I'm just trying to live a long time. I'm not trying to outlive nobody, but I'm trying to live a long time, right? And have great, mobility and all these other things in my later years, because like Keep the Sneak saying, man, you're going to be older a lot longer than you're going to be younger. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to people like Babette, who is like a vegetarian cook, who actually is with Freeway Ricky Ross, the real Freeway Ricky Ross. I guess when he got out of prison, he introduced her to, I don't know if it's vegetarianism or veganism, but now she's doing that. She looks amazing. She like 70 years old. She looked like not a day over 42, bro. It's crazy. And I'm not finna have that going on. My lady looking all extra good because she eating fruits and vegetables and all this, and then she living a long time and she outlived me because I just refuse. You know what I mean? I feel like that could be something that I do. And you have to figure out what your lane is, but let's step it up, fellas. All this complaining and shit. You sound like your mama. That ain't cool. All right? Now, we got some other shit to address. I've been talking about this for a long time, but this is really, 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 really annoying, right? Okay, so now they found a suspect that escaped from prison in Pennsylvania over the time that I've been gone, right? The dude that crab walked up the wall and got up out of there. They actually found dude, but then they got another nigga that escaped from prison. He didn't even escape. They let the nigga go. This nigga's name is Kevin Mason, and he is actually literally a black person. But they fired the 2 jail employees that were involved in his getting away, and they arrested the guy's girlfriend for aiding and abetting, which is kind of, is she aiding and abetting? I mean, the nigga needed her help to get his ticket. Maybe he lied to her and told her he really got released. At any rate, she in jail. They looking for his ass. And it's like, this kind of shit, it keeps happening. If you're in Indiana or whatever, what are you doing? What kind of game are you giving your female to make her feel like, yeah, baby, you safe with me because I have a plan? Do you have a plan? I had a partner tell me he was on a date with a new woman, and she asked him what his plan was, and he didn't have one. He got one now, but don't be that. Don't be that. Learn from this and don't be that, because things are going to fall apart. Things are going to happen, and you have to have a contingency plan, man. Anyway, I don't know if you heard, but there was a lady, and I'm not saying this because there is something you could do to prepare for this, but there's a lady by the name of Gwen Mendez that actually was running a daycare in the Bronx. It's called Divino Nino, and the little boy, one of the little boys, like 3 kids that was maybe even more than that was exposed to fentanyl, and one of the kids actually died. Shout out to the family of that little boy, because that is very sad. There's almost no way to even prepare for something like that. But when you are having a kid or you're about to, if you have something going on where you can because I don't think there's anybody that really wants to have daycare, but when you have a single parent household, you have to. There's no way you could go to work and watch your kid all day. But when you got two, as a man, you probably gonna have to take on more responsibility than you really want to. You're gonna have to step it up. Hopefully you can in a way. Again, prayer, fasting, so that you have, and then you gotta follow through, bro. And the ladies, I'm pretty sure y'all don't necessarily want to be stuck at the house with the baby the whole time. But if you got parents, if you're fortunate enough to have parents to help with that, that's cool. But sometimes you don't, man. And like I said, man, having your kid have to go to daycare, especially when they can't talk, I don't wish that on nobody, man. But these people apparently they selling dope. Now you take care of kids. I don't know if the kids daycare was a front for the day and then she had a roommate. I guess the roommate was her tenant and her cousin. His name was Carlisto Brito. Her name was Gwen Mendez. And last week they was about to be the weirdos of the week, right? But I had to, step it up because, we can't be reporting late shit. We got to stay cutting edge, breaking news type shit. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, they was both charged with murder. There was a couple kids that had to be hit with Narcan, I guess, which is like what they would do in order to reverse overdose. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, you never want to have these things happen, but you have to understand that this stuff is not necessarily common knowledge. But what happens if you got a teenager that has overdosed, Lord forbid? Do you know CPR? Do you know any? Take some classes. Get off the couch. Get off the video game, nigga. You have to know something other than how to get to a certain level on Fortnite and NBA 2K and all this dumb shit, bro. It's just, life is still happening. Get your ass offline with that dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Some of us got to take our kids out of school and actually homeschool them, because these teachers and they don't give a fuck about your kids, that they started putting police back in the schools. I guess because, all these damn school shootings and shit. And it's scary. It's scary as fuck if you got children, school-age children. Some of y'all probably, oh man, my kid's grown. That don't mean that shit stop happening because your kid's grown, nigga. That, if anything, they getting them more shit because the shit that they need now is more expensive. They might need you to watch something. Watch a kid or something. You probably didn't got used to walking around your house butt naked and shit, but now your son needs you. Your daughter needs you. They might need to move back in. Blah, blah, blah. But it don't stop. A lot of niggas like to think that, oh man, my kid's 18. I got a cousin, his son just went to college. And that's a wonderful thing, right? While we talking about college, man, look, man, I'm not no bandwagon nigga. Shout out to Coach Prime, bro. I know that loss probably burnt y'all up, man. There's a lot of you cats, y'all couldn't wait to see the nigga lose. Fuck y'all, right? Because Oregon, they've been doing their thing for several years. This man just got down there, bro. He ain't even really got the recruits that he need yet. So like he said at his press conference, y'all better get him now. Why? Because nigga, you know how many motherfuckers trying to get to this man's school, bro? This man is a fucking champion, bro. And he did all the shit he asking these kids to do. That's why he's going to garner their respect. A lot of you other motherfuckers, y'all just running around here drawing up plays and shit. You ain't played shit. You ain't been nowhere. You ain't had no championship. You ain't been behind the motherfucking lines. You ain't did none of that shit. You ain't been to quote unquote war on the scrimmage line trying to get the two or the extra point run something back. You ain't did none of that shit. And they can tell, they know it. These motherfuckers in the crowd talking about my coach got 10 toes. Man, that's some whole ass shit to say, man. But, like I say a lot of times, but you gotta hate up. They gotta hate up. He said in the press conference, Dion that is, they playing like they playing against me. They not gonna get a chance to play against him. They gotta beat these kids. And they out there cheating to win and doing all this suck ass shit. And that's some low ass shit to do, man, because there's such thing as a sore winner. This man, the coach of Oregon, go on there and try to soft up this man about how he doing this and that. And Dion is also a graceful loser. A lot of you niggas can learn something from that, man, because like I said, the loss gonna happen, bro. So if the kids from Colorado hearing this shit, shake that shit off, bro, and clobber the next team. I know USC supposed to be next. I ain't even been fucking with football like that, bro. I definitely ain't fucking with the NFL, right? But this college shit, they didn't turn me up now. So I didn't start tuning into this shit. And I'm trying to chill out. But I love an underdog, bro. I love to see an underdog win, man. So I'm rooting for y'all, cuz please beat USC ass. Please. I can't wait to see their faces when you, man, and if they only lose these next 2 games, right? Oregon and USC, and they win the rest of them, they still shitting on. And then Shiloh still probably fuck around and get the Heisman Trophy, bro. So I'm looking for that. You heard it here. If not first, then second or something. But yeah. Anyway, back to the other shit we got going on, man. Because like I said, it was an alligator that was walking around with a half a person body in their mouth out in Florida. A 14-foot gator. That's crazy. How do you fuck prepare for that? Some weird ass police officer then hit some girl up in Seattle and ran into the girl on the car. But then, yeah, they gonna hate kid. Hey, man, listen. I appreciate my haters, man. Thank you for hating on me, man. Because you niggas ain't finna do shit extra. I can't stand a nigga tell me, oh man, you know what you should do. You should do. And I'm all for constructive criticism. And I can take suggestions. But you know what you can do to show me how I should do on my show, nigga, is go get you one. Show me like that. Do you a show. And show me how to, because you ain't finna do shit that I'm doing right now. You scared. And if you had any balls, you'd have put them on the line and showed me what you got. But you can't do it. You're not going to do it. And you want to critique and you want to tell somebody how they should do shit and what they should have did and what I would have did. But, hey, actions speak louder than words, fam. So I'll wait. When you got your show, I'll listen. I'll watch it. But until then, hey, do me a small favor and shut the fuck up. Anyway, cause it's just like some dude that ran into a girl up in Seattle, and that's the fucked up part. But the even more fucked up part is another officer that was laughing about this shit, like he has no regard for life, man. And these is police officers. These are the people that's supposed to be protecting and serving for you, man. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta watch your ass. You gotta stay on your pivot. You know what I mean? You gotta keep your head on the swivel and just understand that this manhood shit don't stop because you done got older. It keeps going. It keeps growing. You have to continue to be sharp. It is not something you can just take off and sit down on. It ain't no clocking out of fatherhood. It ain't no clocking out of manhood. The shit don't happen. The shit don't happen. Okay? I know it hurts to hear me say that shit. I got a partner who, man, you sound like you be on the women's side. No, nigga. If you a man, some of y'all is girl dads. And if you got a girl child, you would like to hear that there's somebody that's gonna put you in game so your daughter is gonna be safe if she on her shit too. She don't need to be getting in the car with niggas. Drive to the date yourself on the first one. Okay? Have enough money to pay for your own shit. And order what the fuck you want. Instead of waiting on some nigga to pay for it, then he looking at you like you owe him some pussy. That shit dead. It's dead. Okay? And I tell mines and anybody else's the same thing. So nigga, if you looking for me to just be on your side all the time, it's two different energies in this world, and we need to restore the balance. Okay? So do your part. And you know, like whenever I got anything I'm running, I need everybody to be able to do everything. I don't want the cash register nigga to just be doing cash register shit. I need you to be able to cook too, sir. Okay? And so the man needs to be able to do man shit, and that's his job to do man shit. But if on the off chance he don't got a woman, he know how to cook him a few meals. He know how to cut his own hair, do his own hair. He know how to keep his house clean. He know how to, you know what I'm saying? He has the knowledge of the feminine side at his disposal. So he don't be strained up if he don't got a woman nigga eating TV dinners every day. And if you're a girl or a female, you need to have access to a masculine side or a masculine perspective. You know what I mean? You need to be able to fix a car, not to fix a car, but fix a tire. You know what I mean? Understand when you what it sound like when you timing belt going out, or what, you know what I mean? Or you know how to take out trash, cut some grass. So if you don't got no man, you don't be crying and boo-hooing. You don't know how to change a light bulb and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It just needs to happen. So if you mad at me because I'm talking about both things, nigga, then you can turn the channel. It's cool. I'm not going to be mad at you. But, hey, Kevin Samuels is dead, and even Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, Kev. Even Kevin Samuels was on you niggas' head. You need to smell good. You need to be right. You need to make money. In order for you to get, if you want a 10, and if you a woman and you expecting to get a 10 man, and you walking around here with 6 energy, then lady, you are in for a rude awakening, okay? Whatever. Now, on to the segment I like to call, Don't Be a Weirdo, okay? And this is, again, man. I like to think that I am a student of the Lord, right? But it burns me up when some of these clowns be out here acting like because they are ministers or whatever, they do shit to kids. That shit is not cool. And today's weirdo of the week is a nigga by the name of Benjamin Garlick and his wife, who is being an accessory to his rape crimes. He's a traveling preacher charged with 5 counts of aggravated rape, child rape. He's 32 years old and has been in Texas, Minnesota, Florida, and Indiana, but was helping run a Spanish-speaking ministry called La Espada, located in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And they locked up right now. I think the wife is out on bail, but that's the weirdo of the week, okay? Benjamin Garlick. So if you had him teaching your kids, you need to just watch out, man. You can't trust nobody. It ain't nobody you can trust. The teachers and the preachers and the doctors. I don't trust doctors. I like the idea of having a doctor, but I don't trust you. I don't trust the police. They come to my house, I tell you to your face, I don't trust you. And I hope you don't think that I should. I mean, I appreciate you in your, what you're doing for the neighborhood. If you on the offhand are one of the good ones, but absolute power corrupts absolutely, man. And a lot of people, more than a little bit of people, because I don't want to speak in absolutes, but they are taking full advantage of this type of shit. And if you're not on your job, you don't know your word, you don't know the law. Shout out to Kev, because he's teaching people the law. And you need to know on a local level and the federal one, because I ain't gonna lie, man. It's some people I want to sue. Okay, I heard there's a couple people that if your patent was by a dead person, you can still get credit for it. But whatever. On the next segment, we got who got active. Yeah. Now this is kind of an oldie but goodie, right? Because about 3 years ago, when they had the situation up in Flint, right? They had a foundational black American man by the name of Moses West, who is a retired ranger, came up with this invention, which is an atmospheric water generator, or a AWG, right? And he built one which it basically turns clean air or air into clean water. And he made one. Shout out to him, bro. Big shout out to him, bro. Big shout out to him, bro. Because I don't know why in our community, like, they feel like we gotta be running and jumping and entertaining and singing and shit. We have amazing minds. Amazing. There was another guy, not to, take light off of Brett, because Brett deserved all his shine, right? But it was also another guy who developed an engine that ran on water, foundational black American. Another guy who was not a foundational black American, but he is also like an African, a black guy. And I'm not against any other race. I think that we need to understand and realize in our community that we are good for more than just singing and dancing and running and jumping and shit. Every time I go somewhere, I'm like 6'5" and some change. Do you play basketball? No, I don't play no fucking basketball. I found a way to monetize my business. I own a company, right? Because they used to say some childish shit, but I ain't gonna go into that right now. You know what I mean? Like, they look at us like we I'm here to entertain you. I had to boss up on somebody at one of my spots because I don't know why it is they think, I guess that, look, maybe we some kind of circus animal or something. You know what I mean? But even still, that bear that you see with that ball is still a fucking bear. And if he ever changes his mind and want to tear up some shit, it's going to happen. So please back the fuck up and respect that wild animal for what it is. That lion with this dumb motherfucker's head in his mouth. Because if he ever decide he don't want to do this dumbass shit no more, you a victim, sir, ma'am. So, you're not finna catch me at no circus. I might go to the Soul Circus, Universe Soul Circus, because there ain't no animals in that. I don't go to no zoos. I'm not trying to see no animals in jail. I don't want to see no person in jail. I'm all about freedom. Freedom. Okay? So, I'm not saying that if you done fucked up, you don't deserve to get some kind of punishment or jail or whatever. But I'm just not a fan of people not being free. Animals even not being free. I don't necessarily like seeing dogs being pulled around and yanked on, especially when they be the dog of, look, I might sound a little unsensitive, right? I know that some of these homeless people, they need some kind of companionship or, whatever. But the dog can do better than you, man. And you holding him up. You actually pimping on the dog because these people feel sorry for the dog. They really don't give a fuck about what you're going through. Maybe I should just talk about me. I don't necessarily, I don't not give a fuck about what you're going through. But for the most part, to me, it strikes me as some lazy ass bullshit when you homeless in the motherfucker and you got a tent and a bitch. How you got a bitch and a tent and a dog? Who is fucking the homeless nigga, man? Huh? Who is fucking the homeless dude? Only a bitch that got less drive than him. Oh, he got a tent. That's sexy. Man, if you don't knock it the fuck off. Anyway, on Who Got Active, we got brother Moses West. And shout out to you, big bro, because you have exemplified to other people in this country and to the world that we aren't just for running and jumping and singing and shit. And for that, we commend you, man. I appreciate you. And thank you for your service, because he's a ranger or a retired ranger. And, shout out to all of the vets out there who've given their lives or who, served for the country. I don't give a fuck if you serving dinner or you watching the planes. Cause that shit is necessary too. You twirling the gun. I don't give a fuck. Thank you. I appreciate you. Salute. And next up we have Wake the Fuck Up. Yeah. Now this is this is where I bring out usually somebody who is musically inclined or just need some light shed on them. And most of the time it's a rapper. Every now and then it's an R&B singer or something. This dude, I don't even know what to classify this dude is. He kind of sound like some emo shit. But he from Texas. He looked strange. And I kind of like strange. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm against strange. One of my favorite artists, and I'll say artist because he's not just a rap artist, but is if not the favorite, is Andre 3000. And this guy is almost in the same vein as that because he doesn't rap per se, but you know, he's got nails in his hair and shit. I guess his dad used to be a construction worker or whatever, but he different as fuck. His name is Tizo Touchdown. Okay, now Tizo Touchdown just dropped a new album called How Do You Sleep at Night, and I don't like everything this motherfucker do. I don't like all of it, but there are a couple songs, and I think that y'all might need to like maybe hear that from me first because I like to be up on shit before everybody else. And it's probably a lot of y'all who are Caucasian that fuck with this already. And you know, I was doing some research and I was watching how how Prince and Michael interaction was, and you know, when Prince was also with Rick James, how Prince's main audience was white. But I don't want to be behind on whoever's new and who's coming up, and it's one of us, and I'm not up on the shit. So, you know, I did give him a listen. That is Tizo Touchdown, and he got a couple songs I fuck with. Sleep at Night, and Daddy Mama Drama was some of the ones that stood out to me on his album. He got a song called 5 O'Clock. The video is pretty decent. You know, so like I'm open-minded, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to just be just a rap fan. I like my biggest genre is hip-hop, even though it takes a little bit of work to sift through the bullshit to find the kind of shit that I fuck with. But it's still around, and you know, this guy is kind of on the list of shit that I would fuck with from time to time. And so, you know, if y'all into that, check that out. Give it a listen. But shout out to Tizo, man, because he's original, if nothing else. And, you know, we into that here on R&R, man. Oh, another one is I Don't Think You See Me. Oh, no. Sleep at Night is not one of the songs, by the way. That's just, I read that wrong. But, yes, Daddy Mama Drama, and I Don't Think You See Me. Those are ones that are actually pretty decent. And again, 5 O'Clock is pretty cool. But on to the next segment, and the final one, which I like to call #NowFlowers, because we don't get enough credit. I know these little, you know, award shows that be trying to be on bullshit. The dude that the author of Rolling Stone just jumped out his face with some dumb shit. He wrote some book. I ain't gonna even say the name of the book. Fuck the book. He had to step down because he said some racist shit and some sexist shit talking about the women and blacks just aren't articulate enough. Motherfucker, the name of your magazine is Rolling Stone. And Rolling Stone is based on the song by Muddy Waters, who is just, he good enough to steal the name of his song and put it on your album, but he ain't good enough to cover in your magazine like or to put in your little punk ass book. So 4 thumbs down to this weird ass. But we talking about Now Flowers, right? And so we're gonna get some Now Flowers to big brother Boosie Collins. Boosie Collins is one of the funkiest motherfuckers on this planet. And he's still alive and one of the best bass players to ever do it. And he probably don't get enough credit. And that's why he's on this episode as our, you know, Now Flowers recipient. And the one song that stands out to me, and I know everybody heard it, probably a couple of y'all niggas was made to the song, was I'd rather be with you, yeah, only you. I'd rather be with you. I don't sing like that, but I'm feeling that, man. And I mean, you know, I don't necessarily like every single thing everybody I've brought to y'all attention do, but dude is definitely a classic, and he deserves all the accolades. What's up, nephew? I mean, right now we about to close the episode out, so if y'all just came in, do me a favor, run it back to the beginning, give me a thumbs up, activate the like button, you know what I'm saying, and you know, show up next time and somewhere in the middle or something. I try to do the show at 6, but I did it a little early today because, like I said, man, the schedule will be tighter and tighter. Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, nephew, man, hey, man, I love everybody. Shout out to Louis Bell for that phrase. But I mean, I do love everybody, man. I hope y'all have a productive week, man. And that's it for this episode of R&R. Miss Hecker, what's up, man? I'm about to close out, but watch to the beginning and tell me how y'all feel about this. Leave a comment, man. Y'all have a productive week, man, and y'all come back and see me, man. But we out.